Thank you for staying with us on The Explainer. Tonight, in our My Year series, we take you to the mortuary. Wait, not literally, it's a story. The year 2025 teemed with pain and death, and our dead bodies. Our crime and investigations reporter, Ode Francis, was for different reasons at the famous Nairobi City Mortuary, home to dead bodies and untold stories. Here is Ode Francis with In Death's Workshop.
To the viewers at home, it looks effortless. The polished anchors and reporters, the glossy sets, the breaking news banners, but behind every headline is a storm.
After tumetoa hizi miili, simu ikapigwa hapa Justice Center, tukaambiwa ukitoa hiyo miili watasema ni woli huwa.
And behind every crime story is a man who walks where most fear to tread. I'm Ode Francis. I don't wear makeup. My office is the street. My beat, death, crime, and investigation.
Hatukuwa na record yote ile amefanya crime hapa ama tufanye nini.
In 1 year, 1 month, he cannot tell us who killed those women.
While others chase soundbites, I chase silence, the kind that lingers in morgues, in the eyes of grieving mothers. Not in the newsroom, not in the press briefings, here where the dead awaits to be heard. Death doesn't take a break. It's not just about facts, it's about fear, about navigating a world where truth is dangerous and silence is survival. Now, it is at this gate where it all starts. It is at this city mortuary gate where the entire investigations on telling the story, where it starts. You're well? Naendeleaje?
Naendelea poa mnene.
Leo kuna nini?
Leo niko kaza hapa.
Unknown. Na ini ya polisi.
Sisi ndio pia polisi. Somebody kutoka Kibra, miaka yake, female gender, time, tarehe aliletwa.
Asante. Jambo sa.
Ode Francis.
Ai.
Iko maneno jana? Umenusa vitu?
Sijanusa vitu, nimekuja tu kuona kitu. Hai. Mko sawa? Leo kuna nini bwana?
Nikaa tu leo tuko tu. Kuna kazi. Yeah.
Kuna anything?
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Si tuone.
Sawa. Now, many people fear coming to this place. It is at this area where the story has to be told in a critical, precise, and factual way. Now, this office, it is where all the bodies, unknown bodies, are kept. They are stored in a computer with photos. So, as a journalist, the first thing is to find the story that you are looking for.
Wanakuja hapa kama ni unknown, lakini kingia na jina, we don't take pictures.
Unanifungulia again? Every corpse has a story. My job is to find one the living are afraid to tell. Now, I remember the quarry killings. After my colleagues, that is Franklin Wala, Gatete Njoroge, and Ben Kirui, reported from the site, the bodies were coming here. And at this place,
it was full of bodies, and dismembered bodies were streaming in every minute. I remember at one point, the rowdy crowd came and stormed this place. It is at this very area that, on this cold door, that people were full here, and I was forced to be like this. I was forced to remain calm and find the story. It is at this area that when the bags were being opened, the smell. As a journalist, you had to be there. You had to confirm those body bags. And at the same time, the torture of seeing limbs cut, half bodies cut at this area, it was one of the most horrific thing I ever saw in this city mortuary. But the people, the morticians and the attendants at this area, they were up to task to make sure that we get the right story, we get the right numbers.
I was stationed here in the eyes of the storm. My job wasn't to flinch. It was to witness, to tell the story truthfully. It's not just about facts, it's about fear.
First of all, tuseme quarry ikuwa rahisi. Juu unajua zikuwa kuja mutilated body. Mwili inakuja ikuwa parts, miguu, mkato in half. Ikuwa rahisi. But due process ya ku-identify mwili na media venye walifanya kuspread hizo stories, at least watu walikuwa wamemiss watu wao for a certain duration of time, walipata at least awareness wanaweza kuja mahali hapa kuangalia mwili, but it was not easy.
In one word,
yeah.
Quarry killings,
yeah.
Unaweza categorize as what?
Hiyo ni inaitwanga massacre. Yeah, massacre.
Usini yetu si mbaya. Wakati wamekuja labda kuna kitu wanafuatilia, wanakujanga kama ni postmortem, wanakuwa wana witness na wanatuandikia news pia, na tukiwatch tunasikianga tuko sawa.
About navigating a world where truth is dangerous and silence is survival. Our aim is to seek what happened.
This kind of journalism is not for the faint-hearted. As a journalist, you're exposed to such things and you need to tell the right story. Most of the time in our investigative storytelling, we are forced to come find the truth. We open areas that you as a viewer can't imagine. We are not allowed to show you the body, but we are allowed to tell you what exactly we have seen. So I am able to come, have a look, take notes, find the truth, then come and tell you the truth. It is this that we are exposed in as a journalist when telling stories of murder. For an ordinary Kenyan, for an ordinary viewer, many think City Mortuary is not a place to be or is not a place to visit.
Sometimes the dead speak through paper trail. Sometimes through the ones they leave behind, but always someone wants them to stay silent. Sometimes we are compelled to independently dig the truth from the actual scene. Same story, different names. For me, the story never ends because in this city, the dead are never truly silent if you know how to listen.
Journalism has different facets, including the crime and investigative part of it that my colleague Francis Ode and the likes of Kina Gatete, Ben Kirui, and Franklin Wala do. And this is one of the areas that a majority of journalists have not gotten the courage and the stamina to delve into. And I'll tell you why. For instance, when they come from the field, you know, some of us would react because you'd find that maybe on their daily assignments it includes even going to the morgue, and they interact with the raw crime as it is. Media ethics requires that you see some things, and the viewers at the end of the day do not see some aspects of the stories that they cover. But for them, they have to go interact with these dead bodies. They have to sometimes spend time in that environment that smells of, it's even chilling describing the kind of thing that they interact with on a daily basis, but that's just the nature of their work. So sometimes we joke around when he comes from the field. Tunamwambia we Ode, unanuka mochari, ebu enda you do something before you come and interact with us. It's very chilling. Even how they brief the stories before you even interact with the images they've gotten from the field. You can begin to even just feel how chilling that report is going to be.
The killing of Kasipo Member of Parliament, Ongondo Were, the way it was processed, for us as the desk, we only report of the death and the killing. But now what follows is we also start becoming, spectators. We start becoming what you'll call viewers of how the political crime desk, the crime desk in itself goes now behind the CCTV cameras, fetches all those footages from tracing his very last moments in Parliament, going all the way to where he met his death near the City Mortuary on that fateful evening. And so for us, how the crime desk processes all that is an amazing thing that brings to you closer to the crime scene and even gives you the very, ways of how to live. Because when you saw the kind of motorbike that, intercepted Honorable Were's, the late car next to the City Mortuary and blew, the window and eventually killing him, it eventually gives you lessons on how to, maneuver around the streets and basically telling you that no street is safe. And so kudos to the crime desk. We have gotten to learn a lot of crime, from political crimes to family crimes to social crimes in clubs. It's an amazing job.
Wanahabari kama Ode, kuna kazi ambayo anafanya, kazi ambayo ni kazi ya maana sana, na ni kazi ambayo iko na challenges, kwa sababu yeye hufanya kazi ya investigative journalism, ambayo ni kazi ngumu na ni kazi riski, ambayo inahitaji awe na protection wakati ya kazini. So mara mingi akiwa huko nje tuwa tunaenda pamoja na yeye, kwa sababu hiyo kazi ni kazi ambayo inahitaji mtu kuwa ako na protection, ako na security ya kutosha, sababu wakati wowote anaweza patana na hatari yoyote ya aina yoyote. So hata tukiwa hapa ofisini, wakati mwingine watu wanaweza kuja hapa nje kwa mlango kumtafuta. Sasa unajua mtu akisha kuja akuulize fulani ya ako, na huwezi mwambia tu ako. Lazima kwanza ujue amekuja kumtafuta kwa nini, anataka nini kwake, kwa sababu anaweza kuwa ako na nia mbaya na yeye.
Behind every unknown lies a name, a family, a story, and sometimes a possible cover-up. Now, this is where the suspect brought the body of Sylvia and stashed the body into this water tank.
And sometimes we wonder, some of us, how they process all this, how they go home, what is their thought process at the end of the day? How do they move on from one story to another? The concentration of the crime stories every day. Every minute somebody is being killed. Every moment there is somebody who's committed suicide. Every hour there is an investigation going on. And you wonder how this person, the journalist who brings you these stories, is managing to have a life and move on and also keep the nation informed. For some of us, it's still a puzzle that we're trying to figure out, but I believe somebody has to tell the story at the end of the day, and they have to go out of their way to do this for you. And we just hope that the audience appreciates the effort that goes into coming up with some of those stories. Some take months just to put up. And yeah, I think that's why I said journalism has different facets, and Kina Ode are the ones who are called to do that.
And when it comes to now leaving work, going back home, I have to get home a happy face, just like the way I left my home, a happy man coming to work. The family not knowing what I went through during the day, for them to get that story.